Gods is located about 25 miles northwest of Mexico City. This ancient city is the most visited of Mexico's archaeological sites and a must-see if you're in Mexico City. This Mesoamerican city found its peak around the time of Christ, AD, from the year 1 to about 500. At its peak, the city hosted over 200,000 inhabitants. Even today, the city remains a web of mystery. Hi, I'm David Bankston, host of David Travels. Join me as we travel the globe. This time we stop in Mexico, the city of Teotihuacan. Throughout the show, be sure to pay attention to my safety and photo tips to help you have a wonderful visit. Okay, so let's kick it off right now with safety tip number 1. Do not simply take a taxi and be dropped off at the city. When it's time to go, it's tough to know which taxi cabs are safe, and you might pick the wrong one. Do make sure you take a reputable tour or hire a private driver or guide. They're not that much more expensive and well worth it. We start our journey in the Citadel. The Citadel is a huge area located near the center of the city. It was designed to hold over 100,000 people and was mostly used as the central marketplace for daily bartering for goods and services. In the center of the Citadel stands the Teotihuacan platform, which blocks the view of the Pyramid of the Serpent. Today, excavation continues very slowly by hand to unearth the city's buried archaeological treasures. Simple spikes and string provide an amazing level of accuracy for this dig. Every find is carefully cataloged. When originally built, Mexican pyramids were painted red. You can see just a little red tint to this rock. After you cross the Teotihuacan platform, the Pyramid of the Serpent comes into view. This pyramid is one of the most adorned structures you'll see in the city. Excavation in 1988 showed well over 250 people have been buried in the base core foundation of the pyramid. People buried in over 14 different grave pits. The heads on the pyramid were fashioned after important deities of the day, including the rain god, the sun god, the moon goddess, and the feathered serpent god. Each head was meticulously crafted by hand with simple tools of the day. Today, their detail is still unmatched. The pyramid facade is one of the few remaining today that shows the mysterious architectural style that combines the tablero, or rectangular, and the talud, or trapezoid panels. This pyramid is also unique because it shows some of the exposed coral that was used as part of its construction. Looking back around the city, you can see just how big the Citadel really is. And you can also get an appreciation for the amazing amount of restoration going on. Being an avid photographer, I can't resist giving photo tips to my fellow photographers. Photo tip number 1, do not bring your tripod. You need a permit for your tripod. But do turn on your camera stabilizer or lens stabilization. And also be sure to come either early or late for best sun. Midday sun is very harsh and there's a lot of smog in the air and your photos just won't come out very well. Now we journey up the Avenue of the Dead, seeking out the Pyramid of the Sun. The Avenue of the Dead got its name from the Aztecs, who wrongly believed the little temples on each side of the avenue were tombs. Okay, it's time for another safety tip. Remember, do not purchase unsealed water from vendors along the road. Make sure you look closely at the water and make sure the seal is intact. It's a common practice to fill up empty bottles again and sell them over. Do make sure you haggle with vendors, and also be sure to take your time and catch your breath. You're at about 7,000 feet above sea level, so take your time. The Pyramid of the Sun is on the east side of the Avenue of the Dead. It is the third largest pyramid of the world. It is also the biggest restored pyramid in the Western Hemisphere, and it is an awesome sight. Okay, time for another safety tip. It's very important you do not run up these steps. The city is already very high above sea level. Do take your time and rest frequently, and also hang on to the ropes if they're provided. Okay, conquering my fear of heights, I decided to tackle this pyramid. Look up at this 30-degree slope. Okay, I made it to the halfway point. I had to stop and catch my breath and take a look around. That haze on the horizon is actual smog from Mexico City, so again, take your time and catch your breath. Still got it. More steps. Okay, we finally reached the top. What a glorious view. You get a great view of the Avenue of the Dead all the way back down to the Citadel. And also you get to see the unexcavated parts of the city. This grassy green area has yet to be uncovered. The purpose of the Pyramid of the Sun is not entirely understood, but it is built on top of sacred caves. The caves were thought to be the place where the gods actually created the world. These caves aren't open to the public. Now our journey takes us back up the Avenue of the Dead to the Pyramid of the Moon. The Pyramid of the Moon is smaller than the Pyramid of the Sun, but it's built on higher ground and gives a spectacular view of the Avenue of the Dead and the entire city. This grassy hill to the right of the pyramid is actually a pyramid itself, covered by many thousands of years of earth. Ah, the Pyramid of the Moon. And more steps. These steps are extremely shallow. Your foot only goes on halfway, so be sure to hold on the rope. The plaza in front was a central stage and was used for sacrifices and also performances. Kind of an odd mix, but that's the way it was. Look at this view. Just marvelous. These smaller pyramids on the left and right of the plaza were actually temples built to the high priestess of the day. In this shot, you can see some more covered pyramids. They just look like hills in the distance. But if you look closely, you can see these are covered pyramids. Archaeological evidence suggests that Teotihuacan was a multi-ethnic city, with peoples from the Otomi, Zapotec, Mixtec, Maya, and Nahua peoples. As you prepare to leave the city, you'll see the vendor area off to the left. This is a good place to buy gifts, but not the best. Many things are overpriced, so again, you make sure you're haggling. And also take a look at some of the amazing cactus along the way. These are highly unusual and very, very cool. Well, that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed your tour of this ancient city. Be sure to tune in next time for another destination where Dave travels. See you then.